Welcome. If you are on this page, it means that you recently talked to one of our amazing clarity coaches. And while you may not be ready for the full 6-month professional certificate training program, you maybe are interested in personal transformation that could lead to a lucrative career coaching other people. So what we've created for you on this page is a really powerful coaching exercise to help you discover what breakthrough is wanting to happen in your life.
Yeah, perhaps you're checking out coaching because you're ready for a change in your life, but maybe you feel stuck or unsure about what step to take next in your personal life or career. Well, today you're in for a treat because we're going to take you through a quick exercise to get out of the confusion and into action right away. I'm Stacy Morgenstern.
And I am Carrie Peters, and we are the co-founders of Health Coach Institute. We're the creators of the Become a Health Coach training and the Better Than Ever You program. And we're health and life coaches with a combined 28 years of professional coaching experience under our belts. And we're both work from home moms with daughters. Stacy, yours, Skyla's 11 at 10, right?
Skyla is 10.
That's right. And
my
little Evie is almost 5.
Oh, yeah. So hi there, welcome. I'm so excited about this mini training. I've 1,000% been stuck more than once in my life. And sometimes you just need someone to break you out of your stagnant trance and light a fire under your aspirations. Now, just for a
fire under your aspirations.
That's right.
With an emphasis on the...
Now, just a little more background. Carrie and I co-founded Health Coach Institute over 5 years ago. We've since trained more than 20,000 students worldwide. One of our big themes is this: transformation starts with you. First, you transform yourself, then you learn how to help and inspire others. Now, it's not about being perfect, it's about being real. You will be so much more confident in yourself and as a coach when you've learned how to take care of yourself, how to move through fears and doubts, how to discern what's right and what's not right for your ever-evolving body, mind, heart, and soul.
It's so true. We all deal with personal struggles and juggling responsibilities, and we have all fallen into the trap of completely neglecting our own needs to take care of other people, to put them first. And if you do that for too long, you just end up depleted and, quite frankly, miserable. That's where we end up. And resentful, I would add. Resentful.
Bitter, cold. So this exercise called the Wheel of Life is designed to get you clear on where you're at currently and where you want to go. Taking time to assess your life and check in with yourself is an important part of self-development and self-care. It helps you stay current with your well-being, seeing the gaps and where you need to focus your energy. Sometimes we can be thriving in our career, but starved for social connection, and that's taking its toll on our personal life. Or maybe you're feeling healthy and amazing in your body, but your finances could really use some help. This exercise will help you discover what wants tending in your life right now. Where is all your energy going? And is it going to the places you want it to go?
So let's dive in, shall we? There's a Wheel of Life worksheet that you can download right on this page, or you can simply create your own on a piece of paper, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy. So if you're unable to download and use or print the handout we provided, you just simply draw a circle on a piece of paper, and you're going to make it into like 12 slices of pie, basically, inside the circle. And if you're looking at the handout, you're going to see that big circle with 12 slices of pie. And those 12 slices of pie are the 12 areas of our lives that really matter most. And those areas include finances, creativity. And if you're drawing your own, you can pause the video after each one I say: finances, creativity, spirituality, joy, social life, relationships, career, education, nutrition, physical activity, health, and home environment. Now, as you go through each area on the wheel, you want to rate where you are or where you feel you are by placing a dot on the line next to that area. And a dot placed near the center of the circle indicates dissatisfaction. I don't feel good about what's happening in this particular area of my life. So I'm going to put a dot closer to the center of the circle, whereas a dot placed toward the outside of the circle indicates I am so happy with this area of my life. So if I'm a 5, for example, in nutrition, I would put a dot right in the middle of the nutrition line. If I was a 7 in nutrition, I'd put it a little bit closer toward the outside of the circle, but not all the way to the outer edge of the wheel. I think you get the gist. So you can even put a number next to your dot if you want to go into more detail on like a scale of 1 to 10. 1 might be the center of the wheel and 10 is the outer line.
Right, so let's walk through this. In the upper right, we have joy. How much joy are you experiencing in your life on a scale of 0 to 10? Take your pen and draw a dot on where you're at with joy in your life. Next to joy, we have social life. Are you happy with how much social interaction you're getting? How full is your cup when it comes to being around people? Maybe if you're an introvert, you don't need a ton of social interaction and you feel just fine going to grab a tea or a coffee a few times a week or out for dinner every now and again, but mostly you like to stay at home, so that's what's most nourishing to you. If you're an extrovert, maybe you'd like more FaceTime with your friends and family. You go out and about a few days a week, but you'd like to be around people even more or have more gatherings, deeper connection at your home. So place a dot with how you're feeling in this area. And then we'll move on to
relationships. Relationships. How satisfied are you feeling in your relationships? And this can refer to a relationship with a romantic partner. It could be relationship with friends and family, whichever is making more sense to you or feeling more important for that particular area. So you'll place a dot on the line. Again, remembering that dissatisfied is closer to the center, or really satisfied is closer to the edge. You could also use a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the center of the wheel and 10 being the outer circle of the wheel. Next up, we have home environment. Do you like your home? Is it a sanctuary for you? Does it feel clean and organized in the way that you like? Or is it really messy and chaotic? Does it make you feel excited and happy to be at home? Or are there people there that bring you down? Of course, our home environments are so important to us because we work from home, so we're at home a whole lot. And I really value, I'm not like a super decorator, but I like making it look as beautiful as I'm capable of making it look. I'm designed in a way that has me feel good when I'm in the environment. Like I can feel relaxed and creative, and that may or may not be a priority for you. So you mark your dot on where you are feeling you are regarding your home environment.
Okay, moving on to health. This is a biggie. If you don't have good health, I'm sure you know how this impacts every other area of life. It's linked to everything. As health and life coaches for 25 years combined, our mission has been to help our clients create healthier habits in their lives so they can live the most fulfilling, energetic life possible. We created the 8-week Better Than Ever You program to help you develop the knowledge and skills to become the healthiest version of you. I love getting curious. How healthy can I be? And one thing Carrie and I know to be true is that when you are feeling stagnant or lost in life, if you focus on your health, everything gets better. So where do you rate yourself in the category of health? Go ahead and mark your dot.
Great. You're doing a great job with this exercise. So right next to health around the wheel, we go to physical activity or movement, if you will. And in this section, we're looking at what's your relationship to moving your body consistently. Now, without berating yourself for how it's been, because we tend to do that at times, is there room for improvement, or are you feeling really satisfied with where you are around physical activity?
Okay, let's go to nutrition. Are you aware of which foods work for your unique body type at this stage of your life? So many of us eat foods that are commonly deemed as healthy and yet wonder why we can't seem to lose weight in our bellies, or we have digestive issues and feel so frustrated by finding foods that are friendly to our guts. So nutrition, do you get confused about nutrition, or do you feel like I know a way of eating that really works for me? Go ahead and rate yourself in this area.
I would say for those of you who are feeling confused, like of course you are, there are 1,000 diets and a bunch of contradictory studies about what's good for you and what's not. And I think the thing that's really great is that it actually doesn't have to be so complicated. And in the program that Stacey mentioned, Better Than Ever You, we break it down to the simplest. Nutrition is going to actually be very simple, and we break it down for you. So after nutrition, we have education. Are you still in school? Or do you wish to go back to school? Are you learning, reading, listening to podcasts that educate and inspire you? So you want to think about how you might like to improve in this area. Maybe education is something you really want more of in your life, and you're here to explore that. And of course, we'll tell you a little bit about the Better Than Ever You course that we have for you in just a few minutes. But for right now, let's finish your wheel of life and see how this all ties together. So next to education, it's career. Are you where you want to be in your career? Is it fulfilling for you? Do you feel like it matters, like you have purpose, and like you wake up and go, I'm excited to do the work that I'm doing?
After career, we have finances. So are you starting to see how all these are linked? Making money and getting your finances in order is an important piece of this puzzle. How are you doing money-wise? Do you live from abundance, or do you live in stress? Do you have the money you need for the things that matter to you? I remember years ago, my main goal with coaching was to be the breadwinner of my family. I wanted to be able to pick up the check and go to nice trips without stressing about money. Getting your finances in order is an important part of keeping your wheels spinning. Which brings us to creativity. On what scale would you rate your creativity and the time you take to get your creative juices flowing? Now, creativity can cover many areas. It doesn't mean you have to be a photographer, writer, or artist. It can simply be taking the time to journal every day, getting creative with a new way to move your furniture around your house, or making a new meal you've been wanting to try. How are you doing on the creative self-expression scale? And how can you bring a new sense of creativity, imagination, and fun into your life? So go ahead and mark your dot.
And last but not least, I was so excited about it. I just couldn't wait because it's super important, and that's spirituality or faith. And that can come in many forms, just like creativity. It doesn't simply mean attending church or praying all day long or whatever it is. It's so different for everybody. Really what spirituality is that we mean here in this sense is how connected do you feel to that which is greater than you, or higher power, you might say. So a spiritual practice could look like anything. It might be meditation in the morning. It might be gratitude journaling in the evening. It might be lighting candles and praying. It might be devotional singing. There are so many ways to experience and go deeper with your spirituality if that's what feels important for you right now. So how would you rate your relationship to your higher power, to that which is greater than you? So go ahead and mark your dot on the wheel. All right, now give yourself a little hand, because we've covered all 12 areas on your wheel of life. And guess what? Now it's time to connect your dots together with a pen or a pencil. and see how they look. How might they look, Stacy? They
might be a little jagged.
A little bit. Look at. We've definitely had, I mean, the first time I did it, I was like, wow, my wheel's all messed up because it was the jankiest wheel I've ever seen. It was all crooked. And just to be clear that the goal is not necessarily to have a perfectly round, balanced wheel, because that's not really how life rolls. Like everything is not necessarily awesome all the time. At different points in your life, different priorities rise to the top. And we can do it all, we just can't do it all at once. So the goal is not to have a perfectly round wheel. The goal is to identify where your attention is going right now. And is it where you want your attention to go? So looking at your wheel and the dots that are closest to the center, what do you notice are the top 3 most important areas in your life that really need to be nourished right now?
What are the top 3 most important areas that need to be nourished right now? And once you've identified those top 3 priorities, the next step is making them a priority in your life. And this is where most of us stumble. Why is this step so hard? Because we've been conditioned to believe that self-sacrifice is the highest form of love. We've habituated to burying our own needs in an effort to please everyone else. We disappear ourselves for our kids, for our family members, our friends, our coworkers, our deadlines, and pretty soon we've lost touch with what we need for ourselves. There are moments where we extend ourselves to care for another, but when it comes at the price of self-abandonment, we've got to start examining our priorities. One thing that Carrie and I know to be true, you cannot give from an empty cup. Honoring your priorities is the pathway to filling your cup until it overflows. What's in the cup is for you. What overflows is for everyone else. Many of you know exactly what we're talking about. And we mean this with great love. If you keep giving from the empty cup, you will dry up, burn out, and become resentful. So what's it like in this moment right now when you decide to lay down the disease to please? What's it like right now in this moment when you decide my turn is now? What's it like when you no longer consent to participating in situations that require you to abandon your well-being? What good things might get to happen for you when you stop trying to live up to some unattainable ideal? What unlived life is waiting for you on the other side of that? Maybe that scares you. Here's the thing. You were not born with that fear. You learned it. You learned to put everyone else's needs first. You learned to put your needs last. You learned to ignore your pain. You ever hear someone say, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine." You learned to not honor your body, deny curiosity, and minimize your longings. And it's exhausting. One of my clients, Marissa, a 45-year-old stay-at-home mom of 3, told me in our first session that she was exhausted, anxious, angry, and overwhelmed all at the same time. What worked for her was learning how to balance blood sugar. She was on that blood sugar roller coaster because she's probably eating her kids' leftovers. We know something about that, Carrie, right?
Oh my gosh, children's leftovers are very hard not to eat. They're
very hard not to eat. And she was exhausted tending to all these needs around her, plus a home. Another client, Deanna, a 34-year-old nurse, came to be feeling emotionally flat. That was actually the words that she used. I thought that was so cool. Emotionally flat and struggling with food. What we discovered is that she turns to food to numb out when she's stressed out, needing to ground.
You know, it's really crazy, Stacy, when you think about it, that we're not taught in school the skill of health, like the skill of something as simple as balancing your blood sugar, which completely affects not only your energy, but your moods. We're not taught in school how to identify our stressors and triggers. We're not taught smart, healthy ways to sort of self-soothe and regulate our nervous systems. And it's no wonder that we're all anxious. And of course we're looking to work and we're exhausted. So it's like, okay, well, let me have caffeine and sugar. Well, then I'm going to feel worse after having that. And, we have been crazy sort of roller coaster of poor habits, but it's just because we're trying to cope and we may not know a better way,
Yeah, which is exactly why we created this course that we're going to tell you about in just a moment. But one common theme we also see with so many people who come to us is an ache. So like you heard about Marissa, or you heard about Deanna, or we could tell you many other stories. There's an ache in us all to come alive. There's some part in each and every one of us that's screaming to be prioritized, to take control of our lives. If this resonates for you, you've come to the right place. You can learn a new way. The great news is you've probably realized by now that pleasing everyone is impossible. So how about learning to please yourself? What the world needs right now is men and women who are committed to learning how to take impeccable care of themselves, and from that place, be of service to your family, your friends, your communities, and the world. So let's check out these two questions. Where am I saying yes to things where my gut is saying no? And where am I saying no to things when my gut is saying yes? Instead of being constantly at the effect of everything and everyone around you, it's time to put yourself in the driver's seat with your top priorities as your compass. Now, it's okay to not know how. That's what we're here to help you with.
And one place to start is that, many times people will ask Stacey and I, like, how do you have time for the things that you want in your life? And ultimately what we learned is that we don't make time. What we have to make is a decision to create the time and set the boundaries that give us the time that we need for what we want. And the decision to do that is a decision to honor your priorities above all others, which I'll tell you, like growing up the way I did, like that feels so selfish. It feels so indulgent, right? Like me first, no, that can't possibly be. But I'll tell you, after I had my daughter, I got a major wake up call because I was a people pleaser all my life. And after I had my daughter, I had very severe postpartum depression. And because I was so habituated to please other people and put myself last, like to a really great degree, especially when I could power through that a lot, in my life. But when I got sick, I couldn't power through it anymore. I didn't have the energy. And I was really in such a bad way that I had to start actually asking for what I wanted and needed, or I don't know if I would have survived. Right? That's how, and I had to get to the point of almost dying to start asking for what I wanted and needed. And ultimately what I found is that if I'm miserable and I'm bitter and I'm not honoring my priorities, then my family, my daughter, my spouse, my friends, my coworkers, they're getting a C level, or let's be honest, it was more like a D level version of me instead of an A level version. And that stinks for them and it stinks for me. So you may worry that honoring your priorities first is a selfish thing to do, because aren't we being good when we put others first? Especially as women, that's how we're trained. We have to take care of others. We have to take care of others. What about the people I have to take care of? And you may be a caretaker. I mean, there genuinely maybe people that you have to take care of. And as much as we do need to fulfill some obligations, and we love the people around us, but we're not being good when we put others first to the point where it costs us so much that we're depleted and we're empty and we're numb. Then we've gone too far. right? And we're not doing anyone a service. We are cheating them and ourselves out of the best version of who we are. Right. And that's good for who? It is not good for anybody. So with the people we love and the people maybe you have to care for, wouldn't it be great to bring an A game? So let me just say this, for those of you who have kids, A game may be too much of a stretch. That's okay. Sometimes I'm settling for a B plus or a C plus. Like sometimes that's a win, as a parent. Sometimes life is crazy and things happen, and you don't always have to be operating at an A game. You don't always have to be perfect. That's not what this is about. Because a lot of times with kids, you have to lower your expectations or adjust your expectations about what you're able to accomplish. However, when it comes to your personal well-being, that's something that really has to be at the top of the list, because you're not even going to get to a C plus or a B plus or any of that as a parent when you are depleted and exhausted and overworked and overcommitted and overscheduled and full of resentment, right? So that superwoman, and sometimes it's with men too, a Superman syndrome is alive and well. And it's so much pressure that we put on ourselves, feeling like we have to do it all. We have to do it perfectly. And that's not possible. But we get off because we go, look how strong I am. Look how control I am. I can do it all. I am a warrior, which you probably are. But even warriors need a nap sometimes. So we have to look at, am I valuing myself because I'm so strong, I'm so perfect, I can do it all, I can push through, even if it costs me my sanity and my health. And we got to ask ourselves, is that the game I want to be playing? Really? Right? Because one of the gifts of endeavoring into an exploration of coaching as a career is that it forces you to make some clear decisions, to set some clear boundaries about what kind of life you want to lead and who you want to be in that life. And with every choice, with every moment, you're casting a vote for who you want to become. And if you want to become the best version of yourself, then you can't continue to pour water from an empty pitcher. You can't put everyone else's oxygen mask on while you can't breathe. You can't put yourself last on the to-do list while giving to everyone else. You can't put on the friendly smile and pretend like everything is fine when you really feel like a walking dead zombie version of yourself.
It's no accident that you find yourself here. We're able to talk about this stuff because we've lived it. And at some point, you arrive at a deep desire to feel alive again, to take back control of your life. So now that you have your top 3 priorities, challenge yourself from today on to say no to anything else. When you say no, you are making room for a greater yes. And that yes is to a future where you're living your top 3 priorities in a way that feels incredible, that feels exciting and fulfilling.
So how will you get there? Well, we'd like to tell you about that. And we'd like to invite you to Better Than Ever You, which is a standalone 8-week transformational course that actually is the first module of our 6-month professional certification program. So by the time you complete this 8-week transformational experience, you're going to be able to coach yourself, not only through health and wellness and nutrition, but through many of the areas that we've covered today, whether it's money, career, love and relationships, your relationship to that which is greater, and understanding how to get to sort of the root causes of what's in the way of what you want most in life.
In addition to the life-changing concepts you'll learn, you'll also be welcomed into a supportive, like-minded community of friends who will support, encourage, and stretch you into becoming the you that you've always dreamed of becoming, because transformation happens in community, not isolation. If you've been seeking more personal transformation in your life and wanting to get to know yourself on a deeper level and dip your toe in the waters of health and life coaching as a career, then Better Than Ever You will put you on that path. We can't do what we've always done and expect different results. We got to do things differently. Everything we've spoken about, we've faced ourselves, denying our needs, people-pleasing, draining our life force energy in order to meet everyone else's expectations of us. It's time to stop trying to be good for everyone else and start being good for yourself.
Boom. Mic drop. So here's your next step to becoming the better than ever you that a part of you is really longing to become. You can enroll in our next class right here on this page. You can start Better Than Ever You for only $149, and there's a special rate if you choose to invest in full, and you'll see that on the page. Now, one thing that you might not be aware of is this is actually something really amazing. We've never offered this Better Than Ever You standalone ever, as it's really the first module of our 6-month Become a Health and Life Coach certificate training. So this is the first time that you can just get this first module, which is all about the personal transformation and laying the foundation for health and life coaching if you do choose to pursue that as a career, right? So we've never offered this opportunity where you can experience the magic, but for a fraction of the investment.
I can't emphasize enough that it's no accident you ended up here today. If you're here and you're still here, it's for a reason. Don't quiet that voice inside that wants to learn, grow, and transform and become the best version of yourself. It only takes a few minutes to enroll, so do that right now. Again, thank you so much for taking the time to work on yourself and giving yourself this gift. It's been a pleasure to walk you through this transformative exercise, and we hope to see you in the Better Than Ever You, where we'll take you even deeper, help you start making huge positive shifts in your life. So if you're ready, go ahead and enroll on this page right now, and we'll see you on the inside.
We'll see you on the inside.